My name is Beatrice. I am 35 years old, and now I am alone. I sit in my quiet house. The rooms are full of memories. 15 years of memories. For 15 years, I was with him. His name is Leo. I thought we had a future. I thought we had a life. I stayed because I believed in us. But I was wrong. There was no us. There was only him. And I was just there. Now I understand he never really cared. And I feel like I wasted so much time. I met Leo when I was 20 years old. I was young. I was full of dreams. I worked in a small bookstore. I loved the smell of old paper. I loved the quiet afternoons. Leo used to come into the store. He wasn't a big reader. He just came to look around. He had a beautiful smile. A smile that made my heart feel warm. He would talk to me. He asked about my day. He made me laugh. No one had ever made me laugh like that before. My life was simple back then. I lived with my parents. I was saving money. I wanted to go to art school. I loved to paint. My room was filled with my drawings and paintings. It was my secret world. I told Leo about my dream. I showed him my paintings. He looked at them. "They're nice, B," he said. "You're very talented." His words made me so happy. I felt seen. I felt special. He asked me out on a date. We went to a small Italian restaurant. He held my hand across the table. His hand was warm and strong. I felt safe with him. He talked about his dreams. He wanted to start his own business. He was ambitious. He was exciting. He made my simple life feel bigger, more colorful. I fell in love with him very quickly. It felt like a beautiful story, a story from one of my books. After a few months, I was so in love. I spent all my free time with him. My parents liked him. "He's a charming young man, Beatrice," my mother said. My father was more quiet. "Just be careful, sweetheart," he told me once. Dreams are important. I didn't understand what he meant then. I thought Leo was my dream now. Leo didn't like me spending time with my old friends. "They don't understand our connection, B," he would say. "They're holding you back." I wanted to believe him. I loved him so much. So I started seeing my friends less. My world became smaller. It was just me and Leo. At the time, I thought that was romantic. I thought that was what true love was. A world just for two. I stopped talking about art school so much. Leo was starting his business. It was taking all his time and money. "Maybe you can wait a little, B," he said. "When my business is successful, you can do anything you want." It sounded reasonable, so I waited. I kept working at the bookstore. I supported him. I cooked for him. I cleaned our small apartment. I was his cheerleader, his partner. That's what I thought. The first few years were a mix of happiness and waiting. He was busy, very busy. But sometimes he would surprise me. He would bring me a single flower, or he would hug me from behind while I was washing dishes. These small moments felt like enough. They gave me hope. They made the waiting feel worth it. I believed in his dream. And I believed he believed in mine too. His business started to do well. He made more money. We moved into a bigger apartment. It was nice. It had a big window in the living room. I thought, this is it. Our life is starting. I started looking at art school brochures again. I put them on the coffee table. I hoped he would see them. He saw them. He picked one up. He looked at it for a second. I'm so busy right now, he said. The business needs me. Can we talk about this later? Later never came. I quietly put the brochures away in a drawer. The drawer where my dreams went to sleep. I told myself it was okay. He was working hard for us, for our future. I just needed to be patient. So I was patient. Years passed. 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. I was 25 years old now. My friends from school were finishing college, starting careers, getting married. I was still working at the bookstore, still waiting for Leo. Our life fell into a routine. He worked long hours. He came home tired. He would eat the dinner I made. Then he would watch TV or work on his laptop. He didn't ask about my day much anymore. He didn't ask about my feelings. We didn't talk like we used to. The easy laughter was gone. The house was quiet, too quiet. I tried to talk to him. I remember one evening I felt so lonely. He was sitting on the sofa, looking at his phone. I sat next to him. Leo, I said softly, do you remember how we used to talk? For hours. He looked up from his phone, a little annoyed. What are you talking about, B? We talk, I shook my head. No, we don't, not really. I feel distant from you, he sighed. A long, tired sigh. I'm tired, B, he said. I have a lot of pressure at work. I don't have time for drama. My feelings were drama. I felt a sharp pain in my chest. I got up and went to the bedroom. I cried silently into my pillow. I didn't want him to hear me. I didn't want to be drama. That was the first time I felt it. A cold, heavy feeling. The feeling that maybe, just maybe, I had made a mistake. But I pushed it away. I loved him. This was just a hard time. All couples go through hard times. I just had to be stronger, more understanding. So I tried. I tried to be the perfect girlfriend. I never complained. I always smiled. I kept the house beautiful. I cooked his favorite meals. I waited for him to see me again, to see the girl he fell in love with. When I was 28, we moved into this house. The house I am sitting in now. It was a big step. See, B, he said, holding the keys. We're building a life together. I felt a flicker of hope. Maybe this was it. Maybe now things would be different. I asked him about marriage. My parents kept asking. My friends were all married. Leo, should we think about getting married? I asked one night. He looked uncomfortable. B, it's just a piece of paper, he said. What we have is more real than that. Don't you trust me? Of course I trusted him, so I stopped asking. But it hurt. It felt like I wasn't enough. Not enough to be his wife. I saw my reflection in the window sometimes. I saw a woman who was waiting. just waiting for a ring, for a promise, for a life that always felt just out of reach. I gave up the bookstore job. Leo said I didn't need to work. He was making enough money. You can focus on the house, he said. Make it a beautiful home for us. So I did. I painted the walls. I planted a garden. The garden was my escape. I would spend hours outside with my hands in the dirt. I felt a connection to the earth, to something real, something that grew when I cared for it. Unlike our relationship, my days were empty. I had no job, no school. My friends were busy with their own families. I would call my mother. She would say, "You have a beautiful house, Beatrice. A successful man. You are so lucky, lucky." I didn't feel lucky. I felt like a bird in a golden cage. The cage was beautiful, but I couldn't fly. I had forgotten how to fly. Years went on. I turned 30, then 32, then 34. 15 years had passed since I met Leo. 15 years of my life. I looked in the mirror. I saw the young girl I used to be. The girl with the paint-stained fingers and hopeful eyes. She was gone. In her place was a quiet, sad woman. A woman who had perfected the art of being invisible. Leo's life was full. He had his business, his friends, his hobbies. He started taking long trips on weekends. Golf trips with his friends, he said. He didn't invite me. "It's a guy's thing, B," he would say. "You would be bored." So I stayed home. In our beautiful, empty house, I would sit in the garden. I would talk to my flowers. They were better listeners than him. The feeling of being alone when you are with someone is the worst kind of loneliness. It's a deep, cold ache in your heart. I felt it every day. He was there in the same house, but he was a million miles away. We were strangers living together, strangers who shared a bed, a quiet, cold bed. The end didn't come with a big fight. There was no shouting, no broken plates. It came quietly, just like the sadness had come. It was a Tuesday afternoon. I was cleaning the house, his study room. I rarely went in there. It was his space. I was dusting his desk. A drawer was slightly open. I saw a small, red velvet box. My heart stopped. For one wild, hopeful second, I thought a ring. After all these years, maybe he was finally ready. My hands were shaking. I opened the box. Inside was a necklace, a beautiful, delicate gold necklace with a small diamond. It was lovely, but it wasn't for me. My birthday was 2 months ago. He had given me a gift card for a department store. He didn't even pick out a gift himself. So who was this necklace for? I felt cold, so cold. I put the box back in the drawer. I closed it. I walked out of the room. I sat down on the stairs, and I just knew. He wasn't just distant. He wasn't just busy. He had another life. A life I wasn't part of, a life with someone else. Someone who got beautiful necklaces. Someone he was happy with. That evening, when he came home, I was calm. The storm of tears had passed. Now there was just a quiet, empty space inside me. He walked in, put his keys on the table. He didn't look at me. "Hi," he said, walking towards the kitchen. "Leo," I said. My voice was steady. It surprised me. He stopped and turned. "I have a question," I said. "Are you happy?" He looked confused. "What kind of question is that?" "A simple one," I said. "Are you happy with me, with this life?" He couldn't look me in the eye. He looked at the floor, at the wall, anywhere but at me. He was silent for a long time. The silence was the answer. It was the answer I had been avoiding for years. "It's complicated, B," he finally mumbled. "No, it's not," I said. And for the first time in a very long time, I felt a spark of anger. "It's simple. You don't love me, and you haven't loved me for a long time. Maybe you never did." He didn't deny it. He just stood there, a stranger in my house. "I care about you, B," he said. His voice was weak. "No, you don't," I replied. "You care about this house. You care about having someone to cook your dinner. You care about having a quiet life with no drama. But you don't care about me, the real me. You let her disappear a long time ago." He finally looked at me. He saw that I knew. He didn't have to lie anymore. "I'm sorry," he said. 2 small words for 15 years of my life. "Sorry." He packed a bag that night. He didn't say much. He didn't have to. When he walked out the door, he didn't look back. I stood at the window and watched his car drive away. I didn't cry. I had no tears left. I just felt empty. That was 3 months ago. The first few weeks were the hardest. The silence in the house was so loud. Every corner reminded me of him, of a promise that was never kept. I felt lost. I was 35 years old. I had no job, no savings of my own, no real friends left. I had nothing. I had given everything to him, and he left with all of it. I felt so stupid, so naive. 15 years, from a hopeful girl of 20 to an empty woman of 35. I wasted them. I wasted my best years waiting for a man who was never going to choose me. The pain of that realization was heavy. It felt like I couldn't breathe sometimes. But then, slowly, something started to change. After weeks of just sitting in the quiet house, I started to get angry. Angry at him, but also angry at myself. Why did I let him do that to me? Why didn't I listen to my own heart? Why did I make myself so small? The anger was good. It was like a fire. It burned away some of the sadness. It gave me energy. One day, I went up to the attic. I found an old box. Inside were my old paintings, my art supplies. They were covered in dust. I brought them downstairs. I set up an easel by the big window in the living room. The window he was so proud of. My hand was shaking as I held the brush. I hadn't painted in over a decade. I didn't know what to paint, so I just put color on the canvas. Bright, angry colors. Red, orange, black. I painted for hours. I didn't stop to eat. I just painted. When I was finished, I looked at the canvas. It was a mess of colors. a mess of feelings, but it was mine. I had created something, and it felt good. It felt like breathing again. I started painting every day. I painted my sadness, my anger, my loneliness, and slowly I started to paint hope. I painted the flowers in my garden. I painted the sunrise outside my window. I started to see the beauty in my own quiet world again. I called my parents. I told them everything. The truth. My mother cried. "I'm so sorry, Beatrice," she said. "We thought you were happy." "I thought so too," I said. My father was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Your dream is still there, sweetheart. It's never too late." His words gave me strength. I enrolled in a local art class. It was scary. I was the oldest student there, but the other students were kind. They didn't see a sad, divorced woman. They saw an artist. They saw my paintings. We talked about art, about colors, about light. For the first time in years, I was having real conversations about something I loved. Leo and I are selling the house. I will get some money. It's not much, but it's a start. I am looking for a small apartment, a place just for me, a place I can fill with my paintings, a place that feels like my own. I still have bad days. Days when the weight of the wasted years feels heavy. 15 years is a long time. I can't get it back. I missed out on so much, but I am starting to see it differently. They were not completely wasted. They taught me a lesson, a very hard, painful lesson. I learned that I cannot build my life around someone else. I learned that my voice matters. My dreams matter. I matter. I learned that I am stronger than I thought. Now, when I sit in this quiet house, the silence doesn't feel lonely anymore. It feels peaceful. It feels like possibility. It's the sound of my new life beginning. I am alone, yes, but I am not lonely. I am getting to know myself again. And I think I am starting to like her. If you are listening to my story, and maybe you feel invisible, maybe you are waiting for someone to see you, please hear me. Don't wait, see yourself. Your life is precious. Your dreams are important. It is never, ever too late to choose yourself. It will be scary. It will be hard. But freedom is on the other side. The freedom to be you. You are strong. You can do this. Keep going. Your story is not over. It is just beginning.